Welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving into a sensitive topic, the top 10 countries that hate the United States. It's important to remember that these things are rarely black and white. We're not here to judge, we're here to understand. Let's explore the reasons behind these sentiments and what they mean for international relations. The world is a complicated tapestry of cultures and histories. Pretending everyone loves us is like ignoring the giant angry elephant in the room. Our first stop takes us to Cairo, Egypt, a country with a rich history and a complicated relationship with the U.S. Public opinion reflects deep-rooted resentment due to the U.S. propping up dictators like Hosni Mubarak. The U.S. quote, "S involvement in Middle Eastern politics hasn't helped either." Next, we travel to Amman, Jordan, a country known for its warm hospitality and its strategic location in a volatile region. Despite being a key U.S. ally, only 12% of Jordanians view the U.S. positively. This is due to the U.S. quote, "assess involvement in regional conflicts." It's like living next to a neighbor who sets off fireworks at 3 a.m. All of this has fueled anti-American sentiments among Jordanians. Our third stop takes us to Ankara, Turkey, once a staunch U.S. ally within NATO. Turkey's favorability rating towards the U.S. has plummeted to 19%. Geopolitical tensions have driven a wedge between these former BFFs. The U.S. quote, "S support for Kurdish groups in Syria seen as terrorists by Turkey is a major point of contention." And then there's Fethullah Gulen, accused by Erdogan of orchestrating the 2016 coup attempt. The U.S. has refused to extradite Gulen, straining relations further. It's a diplomatic standoff that shows no signs of abating. Our next destination is Islamabad, Pakistan, a country with a roller coaster relationship with the United States. Only about 14% of Pakistanis express a positive opinion about America. The U.S. hasn't always been the most reliable friend. We've given billions in aid but also imposed sanctions and invaded Afghanistan. Drone strikes have killed countless civilians, fueling resentment and anger towards the U.S. Our journey now takes us to Moscow, Russia, a country with complicated relationships with the United States. Only around 23% of Russians view the U.S. favorably. There's the whole NATO expansion thing, which Russia sees as a direct threat. Then there's the ongoing conflict in Ukraine, where Russia's annexation of Crimea and support for separatists has been met with condemnation and sanctions. And let's not forget about the meddling in elections. All of this has created mistrust and animosity. Hold on to your hats, folks, because we're heading to Tehran, Iran, where anti-American sentiment is about as subtle as a sledgehammer to a plate glass window. The U.S. is often portrayed as the great Satan in Iranian propaganda. This animosity goes back to 1953, when the CIA orchestrated a coup that overthrew Iran's Prime Minister, Mohammad Mossadegh. And then there's the Islamic Revolution in 1979, which saw the Shah overthrown and Ayatollah Khomeini come to power. This event involved the U.S. Embassy hostage crisis, further cementing the image of the U.S. as an enemy of Iran. Next stop, Caracas, Venezuela, where anti-American sentiment is as abundant as oil used to be. The U.S. is seen as an imperialist bully, exploiting Venezuela's resources and toppling its socialist government. U.S. sanctions have crippled Venezuela's economy, causing widespread hardship. This has created a climate of mistrust and resentment towards the U.S. Fasten your seatbelts, folks. We're heading deep into the heart of Pyongyang, North Korea. The U.S. is the ultimate bogeyman, the embodiment of all that is evil. This animosity goes back to the Korean War, ending in 1953 with an armistice. The U.S. and South Korea conduct joint military exercises seen by North Korea as invasion rehearsals. This has created a climate of paranoia and fear in North Korea. Our journey now takes us to Beirut, Lebanon, a country where anti-American sentiment is complex and multifaceted. Public opinion towards the U.S. is deeply divided, shaped by historical grievances, political allegiances, and religious affiliations. For some Lebanese, particularly those who align with Hezbollah, the U.S. is seen as a staunch supporter of Israel. Coupled with its military interventions in the Middle East, has fueled anti-American sentiment. However, for others, particularly those who align with Western-leaning parties, the U.S. is seen as a potential guarantor of stability. Our final destination takes us to Kabul, Afghanistan, a country that has experienced the full spectrum of U.S. foreign policy. Anti-American sentiment is as common as sand in the desert. The U.S. invasion in 2001 was initially welcomed as a liberation, but the 20-year war left many Afghans disillusioned. The U.S. withdrawal in 2021 saw the Afghan government collapse. The Taliban swept back into power. A glimpse into the complex world of anti-American sentiment, influenced by historical grievances and recent policies. Dismissing these feelings as irrational is a mistake. Understanding these perspectives is crucial. Like, subscribe,